Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. We're gonna talk about a few other things as well, but I gotta start with this. ISO 222, let's do it, says Ripple Partnership Development. Remember when I'm always telling you how massive this network is? You see it right here. And the one key to all of it is IBM. Because I think IBM is going to be one of the biggest players inside that new financial system. But you see all the connections to Ripple. And XRP is going to be running on all of these rails. It's just a matter of time. This comes from Riz. By design, Smoke says XRP is the real digital gold for payments. Now this is an older video, but listen to the way they talk about XRP.
This industry is insane. So there's Bitcoin maximalists, but everybody agrees, like, you know, XRP sucks, and I don't really get it, right? I mean, they're a legitimate company. They don't pretend to be something they're not, and they're really good at one thing: moving money fast and cheap. And it's fantastic. It fills a big need. And for a hedge fund like us to be able to denominate in Ripple and XRP, I just did the same thing, is really good. We did our first close. We moved north of $50 million into the company in Ripple, in XRP, in like 2 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. Now, that is amazing. There's no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. There's just no way to do it that fast and that cheaply. And so it serves a really useful need for us. And then also when our LPs eventually redeem, hopefully never, but when they want some of the money back, we just send it in XRP again, and there's no 3-day wait for international wires or 1-day wait for US wires. We're not paying wire fees and all that. It's just, I don't understand why that's hard to understand. And so the religious wars aside, the tribalism aside, it does some things really well, and we love it for that.
Now, I don't understand, you know, retail crypto investors all over X. They all think that for some reason XRP sucks. You hear it all the time. But yet everybody knows that XRP is going to be part of the new financial system. He just explained how game-changing XRP actually is. It's great at doing one thing: moving money. And it's solving the biggest problem in the world right now, which is moving money. Everybody wants it to be fast, cheap, and secure. It's the same reason we're going to see Ripple steal more and more business away from Swift over time. This comes from XRP drops. Ripple versus Swift. Swift's global payment innovation. Swift GPI is not that innovative at all. So you see, market penetration. Swift high, Ripple low. Pre-funding, yes. Ripple no. When you don't have to pre-fund, that solves a massive problem. When you have on-demand liquidity, it solves a massive problem. Speed, Swift, 9 hours on average. Ripple, near real time. Think about it. You're sending millions of dollars, and it's taking 9 hours to get there. And the whole time you're sitting there worrying, is the transaction going to fail, or is it going to go through? You could be on the phone with a client or a customer using Ripple, utilizing XRP, and before you even hang up that phone call, know that the money ended up on the other end, knowing that transaction completed. When you're able to do that, every single bank customer is going to want to use that over Swift. And that's how we will get to a 3-digit XRP and beyond. This comes from Smoke. He's talking about Russia's pro-crypto bill. So you see, Russian lawmakers last night approved a new law permitting the use of cryptocurrency for international payments. Reuters reports that the law is expected to take effect in September and that the first crypto transactions could take place before the end of this year. The West's decision to ban Russia out of the US-led SWIFT system in early 2022 has paved a way for alternative international payment systems. These sanctions, ironically, may weaken U.S. dominance in a legacy banking regime. A double irony is that the saving grace for U.S. is probably faster crypto adoption, particularly embracing USD stablecoin. Remember back in 2022 when Russia announced their new CBDC? And I said, this is going to speed everything up. Now the US has no choice but to adopt crypto and put stablecoin regulations in place as soon as possible, leading to crypto regulations as well. Everything's going to start to move very fast because Russia is pushing everything right now. Breaking, U.S. government sells 10,000 Bitcoin worth $650 million. This comes just one day after the Bitcoin Reserve Bill, where a 1 million unit Bitcoin purchase program to acquire a total stake of approximately 5% of total Bitcoin supply, mirroring the size and scope of gold reserves held by the United States. You know, that Bitcoin bill, it's never going to get passed. And if it does, nobody's going to be out there buying up the Bitcoin. It's like all talking points right now leading up to this next election. But if they were going to stockpile Bitcoin anyway, why are they selling it off? And here's Cynthia Loomis, 45 seconds, telling you what her plans are.
So we would have a diversified asset allocation of hard assets, including gold and including Bitcoin. It not only creates a diversified asset allocation, because we already have US dollars and treasuries and foreign currencies. It adds another very hard asset that could be put in cold storage, just the way we hold gold in cold storage, and allow it to grow in market value, backing the US dollar. If we held 1 million Bitcoin for 20 years, we would have enough money to reduce the national debt in half.
But here's the problem I see with this. First off, they want to hold it in cold storage for 20 years. We need to solve the problems with the debt today. We need to solve the spending problem at the same time. But what I really think is going on here is this. Because I talk to people that aren't invested in the crypto, and I asked them, what do you think about all this Bitcoin talk all of a sudden coming from these politicians? And the one guy summed it up perfectly. He says, I guess I got to get ready to being used to using digital money. Now, while they're pushing this whole Bitcoin narrative, I think they're pushing the digital money narrative. They're getting people used to hearing about digital currencies, things like that. But what about Trump? What are his true intentions? Take a listen to this right here. She's talking about Donald Trump back in 2011.
If they go back to, I believe it was September of 2011, Trump, who was not running for anything in those days, did something I noticed. He said he did not like the way the U.S. government, that would have been under President Obama, was treating the dollar. He thought they were cheapening it. So he took, as a deposit on building space in New York, 3 kilo bars of gold. I think it amounted to something like 100,000 at the time. And he not only did that, he had a press conference about it. He says, I'm doing this because I am showing that we need to have money we can believe in, money we can trust. I don't like the way the government is treating the dollar like it's just the unintended consequence of fiscal and monetary policy. And he made quite a statement about that. I instantly thought, if he ever runs, he could address that issue, which I think is very important. I mean, what worked under President Reagan, who also wanted to have gold backing for the dollar, he cut a commercial.
So that's what Trump's true intentions are, in my opinion. I think he wants to back the US dollar by actual gold, not Bitcoin. He's talking about Bitcoin right now because it's going to drum up votes. And, you know, that's where all these politicians are going right now. But ask yourself this, what is in the pocket of every politician? Massive amounts of US dollars. So they're going to want to strengthen what they're already holding. US dollars. They're not going to back it with Bitcoin. In fact, I don't think that's even going to get passed in any way. But that's just my opinion. And why would they be selling off now just to buy back later? It doesn't make any sense. Then there's the US Treasury dollar. And a lot of people keep saying, well, that's that new rainbow currency. But if you look right here, the rainbow currencies can be found on eBay. Artist rendition of a few years back. Likely a prototype. They sound like the gold foil and polymer money accepted as gold currency in places like Utah. I've got a few. There are a few states with designs. So is it the rainbow currency? I honestly think it's going to be in digital form, and here's why. So even when you look at the debt clock and even the messages that are out there on the debt clock, US Treasury dollar, it's a stock, it's a bond, it's a bankless savings account all in one. And they show some sort of paper money there. But I think it's going to be in digital form. And I think everybody is hyping around Bitcoin right now because that's all the normies know. The people that aren't invested in crypto, they only know Bitcoin. So when you're pushing Bitcoin, they picture digital money. Remember, they all used to call it, you know, internet monopoly money, magical internet money. They know it's not paper. So it builds up for some sort of digital currency, which is the direction I think we are actually going in. I'm waiting to see what that US Treasury dollar is. And I even look for other pictures of it all over Google, and there's no actual pictures of it. The only thing it seems to bring up is that Treasury coin, that $1 trillion Treasury coin that Janet Yellen was talking about like a year ago. But we're going to have to wait and see where it goes from here. The ECB has also addressed other essential aspects of offline digital euro payments with a view to making them seamless, secure, and user-friendly. So now that they're talking about offline payments, we already know XRP can be transacted offline. And we know the ECB also talked about Ripple and XRP multiple times in the past. I definitely think they are going to have the digital euro running on Ripple rails, also utilizing XRP. It's just a matter of time. Now take a listen to this. Interoperability in the world of tokenization.
The buy side want to be able to have one platform where they can trade, where they can make an investment, and they can see all the assets. So a lot of what interoperability is about, it's about aggregation. It's about harmonization of taking the assets that are coming from multiple places, harmonizing them, giving them to the client, and then on the other side, harmonizing the users, what wallet address they're holding, how their KYC and AML is done, and so on. So harmonization on both sides. And this is the activity that we're doing today to connect those two sides, the supply and demand. But for the buy side, it's about easy access, but it's about the quality of the assets.
Take notice he talked about demand for the asset as well. I think that could play into our favor in the future. Say you have something, maybe it's rare, and you decide to tokenize it. Well, when you have a lot of demand for it, it could push the value of that asset higher and higher, even through tokenization. And it will allow you to get the most out of that asset as well. That's why I think when they tokenize gold and start moving the value of gold across borders, I think that's going to be game changing. It's going to disrupt so many other markets. It could also lead to different valuations on different things over time. Maybe housing, like real estate, and even car values as well. That's why tokenization, we're still very early on it, but we're starting to see it gain traction now. because institutions are very interested in tokenization. Even BlackRock, they talk more about tokenization than those Bitcoin ETFs. That's because they plan on tokenizing those ETFs on something like the XRP ledger. But you know, until it all happens, you gotta stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.